Hello again everyone, Ageofdune here, and we're back with another League of Legends Shoutcast. This particular game, I'm doing something that a lot of you guys have requested over and over again, and that is Talon played by Insoy. A lot of you guys really loved his gameplay, and apparently he's a big time Talon player, and he has guides and stuff of his game, how to play Talon and everything. So people requested that I do a game of him. Unfortunately, at the time, I wasn't really able to because he never really streamed when I could record, and he never really played when I could record, and even when he did, he rarely did Talon. But I was able to find a website on Reddit a while back, just a few days ago. It's called ProReplays.net. It's actually a really nice site. It only has, the pros, so it doesn't record everybody. But in this case, while Insoy's not a pro, it does record his, because I actually asked the guy on Reddit when I brought it up, because at the time, the Insoy games that were in there didn't actually run, thanks to the most recent patch at the time. So I brought it up to him and I said, hey, I can't get these to go. And he's like, okay, well thanks. And he went ahead and actually turned it on so that the Insoy games will automatically be recorded, which is kind of awesome. And what it does is it goes ahead and just records it. It shows you the outcome of it, of course, and then it records the game itself, and you can either watch via the client itself somehow, or via replay, the replay application, LOL Replay. So that's actually kind of cool. Oh my, missed that. Fiddlesticks got a little caught there. He's walking up here to go to lane from the looks of it, and unfortunately for him, he had people waiting for him. So in he goes immediately attacked there, trying to get to where he could flash out, but that's a nope, and he just ended up going down. Not too bad. There was a very nice little trap there, and Fiddle had no idea what was happening. So he ended up going down already. Not so great for the red team, and Insoy's probably not too happy about that. Always sucks when your team gets first blooded before minions are even in lane. But it happens, and sometimes you're able to go ahead and recover from it. So we'll see if they are able to this time. I'm kind of curious about what Karthus is doing here. He's got revived teleport, and it looks like he's jungling with Hecarim. I don't know. He did a little bit of damage there. I guess they actually didn't do anything for Hecarim, interestingly enough. Like, they didn't leash for him, so maybe he just came in to do a little bit more damage for them, and then he went back to lane. It is very strange, by the way, to see revived teleport. Although, to be fair, I mean, Karthus is one of those that I've actually heard it's fairly legitimate, just because of the fact that he does have that ulti. So a lot of times you'll see them go off and throw their lives away, and then do everything they can to get the people low, and they don't even have to worry about ulting until they come back, because they just push a revive as soon as they die, come back, ulti, and destroy the people that they were able to do damage to. So I have a feeling that's probably what we're going to see. I think it's sometimes still regarded as a troll pick, but not, or a troll selection, but not as much as it would be on most other champions. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. I am kind of curious also about Fiddlesticks. For one thing, he's a solo lane in this case, which is not normally seen. You don't normally see a Fiddlestick solo lane, but in this case, not only that, but he's also 2 versus 1, which admittedly isn't really his fault. He's gone top, and the enemy team went ahead and switched. I don't know if they actually knew it, but either way, seeing a Fiddlesticks in lane is kind of strange. I don't know if these guys were going to trade, and then the trade ended up not going off, or if this is actually what they wanted to do, but that's kind of strange. So either way, both teams have kind of strange builds here, but we'll have to see if it turns out for them and which team it actually ends up going for. I know Talon is pretty deadly against pretty much any mid lane AP caster, because he's able to silence them and get out, and he has a lot of damage. He's an assassin, of course. So we'll have to see how he ends up doing against Vlad. Vlad does have the sustain, using that Q, as we can see there. He's able to steal that life away, and able to do quite a bit to Talon. Talon is also melee, whereas Vlad is not. So that does also give Talon that little bit of a burst there. But we do see the red team jungler going ahead and helping Fiddle, going off and pushing, whereas for the blue team, that's not happening at all. So the red team's actually got a decent amount of damage on this turret already, and the blue team really hasn't been able to do all that much. I mean, they've done some, but not that much. And Hecarim is just farming the jungle, and Lee Sin's actually working with the Fiddle to go ahead and get him that little bit of farm there. So that's kind of cool to see, and we'll see if it ends up working out for them. Looks like Talon's being forced. He's being forced to play super cautious here. He's actually getting pretty darn low. And wow, we actually had the quote solo lane, which is actually currently kind of a duo lane, take down the Annie there. So in comes the Lee Sin. He is picked up by that ward, but he landed the Q on Annie and went ahead and took her out. He did flash. No, actually, he didn't flash for her. She flashed, but I guess he had started his ability just beforehand, so he actually did end up taking her down, which is kind of surprising. Oh, stuff happening here. Looks like Talon got invaded on here. Down goes the Annie. We saw that one happening. I did see the Hecarim coming around, but Annie being dead or killed just kind of caused me to come see that. Ah, very nice. He actually jumped at the Hecarim, and honestly, that is a great move there. Ooh, this might not be a great move. Come on, Vlad, don't do that. That's a bad idea. What he did there, by jumping in, Hecarim's ability actually scales based on how long he runs like that. Oh my, this may end up being... Yeah, I think it may be a 1-for-1. I'm not sure. No, the Vlad does not end up going down. It got really close, but it was not a 1-for-1. And now Janna's in a little bit of trouble. She is going to go ahead and take the Vlad down. So Talon does at least get the assist for that. And it looks like Janna is going to escape as well. So, unfortunately for Vlad, he ended up going down. Oh my, there was a teleport up here, and Fiddlesticks in a little bit of trouble here. The Karthus is going to go ahead and take him down with the Tristana. The kill actually goes to Karthus. So far, this is really not going in the red team's favor whatsoever. Blue team is currently 3-2, and they are not quite a K ahead. And now they're going in on this tower, and there's nobody around to defend it. So things are not looking too good for the red team at all. Not too good at all, no. But yeah, definitely check out the pro replays if you're interested in actually seeing some professional elite replays. I was never able to get much success with, you know, the LOL replay and actually searching for replays through that, but with the pro replays, it actually records every professional gamer, every one of their games. And then it does have other people who sometimes play with the professional gamers. It records their games simply because they have a professional gamer in their game. So you can look up Dyrus, and it has pretty much every one of his games. It gets customs if spectating is enabled, of course. Customs, ranked 5s, ranked 5 team games. It gets pretty much everything. So go ahead and check it out if you want to see replays. It is definitely a good site, and I've been pretty well enjoying it so far. That's actually how I was able to get the curse games as well. The new curse games. So I'm quite liking it. Right, very nice little gank there. Vlad is going to survive it though, so unfortunately for them, it's not really going to turn out. Not all the way. But it is going to make it so the Insoy here can go ahead and farm up a bit. I'm going to go ahead and arrange the people now. We've got... Let's see, I guess... Who would actually be bottom? I guess it would be Karthus. Karthus is sort of top. Oh my, Karthus is being engaged on big time. Lee Sin's able to take him down. In goes the Vlad, but Vlad actually might die to Talon here if he's not careful. No, he's not going to die. But that revive is still up, and I have a feeling we're about to see revive. There we go. The Karthus does immediately revive, and out comes his ulti. Manages to take down the Talon. And that's exactly what I predicted when I saw that, which, I mean, honestly isn't that big of a prediction. It was pretty darn obvious, but even still, seeing that kind of indicated there. Okay, there is that Karthus ulti, and there we go. The red team is actually engaging pretty hard on this. The Tristana actually took some damage from the tower. Corki jumps in, and the Tristana ends up going down. Now the Annie's caught out there, and I have a feeling she's going to go down to this as well. The barrier comes out from Corki, making it so he actually does survive this. Annie tried to turn around and take him out with her Q, but it did not end up happening, and she ended up dying. Also, the Lee Sin did indeed end up dying. I thought he would escape this. He did, but he went in on red, and Hecarim found him. Sorry, Lee Sin. Aw, very nice of the Lee Sin there. He knew he was going to die either way. Actually, I guess not, because he did flash over. So had he not flashed, it really would have been great. Because he was going to die either way, thanks to the Hecarim. but he did make the Hecarim use his ulti. So what he did is he went ahead and just bursted down the red buff. He used his Q, I don't think he used, no, you can't use your ult on that. But he used his Q and immediately used Smite on it and just instantly took it over and flashed over the wall. He thought he was going to escape that, but that didn't end up happening. So even still, I mean, it was a really good play, and he ended up getting that so that the XP from it actually goes to him. I mean, Hecarim obviously gets the XP from killing him, but he was going to get that anyway. So the XP from red actually ended up going to him. Stop it. I hate... Sometimes it does that. It bugs out. So even though I have the middle mouse button pressed, it stops noticing it, but only sometimes. And I don't really understand it. But that's why it suddenly just jerks like that. For some reason it freaks out. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe my mouse, for all I know. Alright, so it looks like the Lee Sin is going to go ahead and give the blue buff to Talon here. Probably a good idea. Talon does kind of need it. It's a good thing for him. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue with this. We've got Vladimir mid. Karthus, by the way, is played by russl, R-U-S-S-L. The Vladimir is played by TofuShift. The AD carry for that team is Tristana, played by Teesum. And the Annie is the support, played by Boblolz. We have got a gank coming in here. The Annie actually took quite a bit of damage. In comes the Lee Sin, missed his Q, but I don't really think it's going to matter. No, the kill does end up going down. And the Annie goes down to the Corki, which is not too good for that. The Hecarim was coming in to try to help this, but unfortunately he got there slightly too late, so that did not end up happening. And that does mean that the red team is... never mind. I was about to say they're going to go get Dragon, but they apparently decided against it. Instead, they're going to come in here onto Vladimir. So in comes the Lee Sin on Vladimir, gets the slow on him. In comes the Corki as well. Vladimir uses his pool to try to get out, but that's not going to work. He ends up going down. And that is another kill for the red team. And while before they were behind, now they have definitely gotten in the lead, and they're going to try to push down this tower. Both teams are currently tied on towers, but that's only until the red team manages to take down this tower, at which point it is definitely going to be a lead for them. So there we go, and they're pinging Dragon to go ahead and go for that. And they probably can take it, honestly. We'll have to see. But I think they're going to be able to take this with no problem whatsoever. They've got a red buff, so they know the enemy team does not know they're doing this. Annie's coming over toward it. And we're about to see her ward now. There we go. She does ward. Interestingly, the Janna actually jumps over. I'm not really sure why she did that, but doing so actually did bait the Annie into staying. And, wow. Annie really, I guess she thought she was going to be able to take the Janna down. And, oh no, that's what it was. Annie thought that Janna was alone because she didn't actually get to place her ward there. So she was going to go ahead and take her out and punish her for flashing over the wall, but it ended up just baiting her. Fiddlesticks was actually trying to ult there, but the Hecarim coming in actually shoved the Fiddlesticks back and interrupted that ult. So his ult was on cooldown and he did not get any damage out of it. That is one of the most annoying things as a Fiddlesticks. When you're sitting there channeling your ulti, and then somebody just interrupts you, and now it's on cooldown, and you've got nothing. But, on the other hand, when you're against the Fiddlesticks, it's pretty darn nice. Otherwise, that ult just tears you apart. So, alright, we can go ahead and continue with this Boblolz, and finally we've got the Hecarim, played by ichibaNNN, with 3 N's. Capital N's, no less. It's very important N's. For the red team, we've got Fiddlesticks top, which, again, very strange, played by Kelberry. Mid lane, we've got Talon. Oops, stuff happening here. The Lee Sin is getting engaged on. He is going to get out of this with no problem, though. The ulti there from Vlad did a little bit of damage to him, but nothing too much. In comes the Talon. Was able to go ahead and shred them up a little bit, but he didn't do too much to them either. But either way, Lee Sin got out of that, and that means that the Vlad ult went down for nothing. So very nice by the Lee Sin there, managing to escape that. And we'll see if he's able to continue escaping such things. Alright, I believe I said that, yeah, the Talon obviously is played by Insoy, who, like I said, a lot of you guys requested, and honestly, I'm perfectly okay with it. When I saw him play Brand, it was pretty darn amazing. He's actually a really good Brand as well. So I have that video on my channel. If you are interested in seeing more Insoy, be sure to check that out. I quite enjoyed it. Although a lot of people were just sad because he did not actually have him as Talon. Nice teleport there from the Karthus. missed the wall there, but the Annie came in, did manage to go ahead and land her stun. The barrier came out from the... Oh my gosh, no way. Is he actually going to live through this? No, he does not. But he barriered the Annie stun. The Karthus ulti came out, but the Janna actually interrupted it. So that's how that happened. And then now the enemy team came in. Lots of back and forth here. It's currently 3 for 2. 3 members of the blue team are down, only 2 for the red. But Hecarim's trying to turn that around right now. If he goes in on this, he is going in on this. Took a little bit of tower shot there. In comes the Vlad as well. He gets punted up by that Janna tornado, and there is his pool. So he's probably going to manage to take down the Janna here. Yes, Janna does end up going down. The Hecarim actually got engaged on by Lee Sin there, and I'm not sure if the Hecarim's going to be able to escape this. I think he might. No, actually he won't. He's going to go down. There we go. Hecarim does, or Lee Sin does manage to take down the Hecarim, and he's on a killing spree now. Well, that's actually kind of pretty. I didn't notice what the skin was. If it was the skin, actually. I'll have to see when he comes back into lane if he actually has a skin or not. But the Corki is just ripping this guy to shreds here. And is he going to manage to finish it? No, he did not. Tristana came in and Corki says, okay, well, I'll take you down then. And Corki, Vladimir's in this bush. If the Corki fired a single ulti into that bush, Vladimir would now be dead. And luckily for Vladimir, he decided not to do that. That would have been pretty interesting. Corki thought he escaped, so he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna farm up here," which I mean he did, but he thought he was gonna get out of that. He thought the other guy got out of it, but he did not actually end up doing it. In comes the Talon. He used his ulti there, but unfortunately for him, it did not end up going off. But he did manage to slow down the Annie, but he got stunned under tower, so he's gonna go down to this. He still got the kill, though, actually. I guess because of his auto-attack damage there. Did he ignite? He did ignite as well. So, yeah, he ignited, and then Fiddlesticks was able to do just enough damage there so that the ignite tick managed to kill her. So, he did end up getting the kill for that. I actually thought he wasn't going to be able to, and now Hecarim's in a bit of trouble. He had to go ahead and ulti out of that. I think he's still going to be fine. Yeah, he is indeed. And we've got the Fiddlesticks and Janna up here, and they should be fine as well. Yeah. Vladimir was going to go ahead and try to take down the Fiddle, but Janna slowed him down, so he knew that wasn't going to happen. I don't understand this. I don't know. Because it doesn't really seem to move my mouse around, so maybe it's just my mouse being stupid. I really have no idea. Either way, it's kind of annoying when it suddenly jukes around like that. So Karthus kind of looks like he's coming in for a gank here. He is picked up by that ward, though. So the enemy team knows he's there. Janna's waiting, as is the Fiddlesticks. In they go on Janna. Managed to land that wall, but she popped them up with her tornado. So she's going to get out of this. They're going in on the Fiddlesticks now. He is using that lifesteal to go ahead and sustain up. Unfortunately, it was not quite enough, but the Janna went ahead and ultied them under the tower. So they ended up both dying for that. And they ended up taking down Janna and Fiddlesticks at the same time. So I think it's actually pretty much worth it. That was a 2 for 2. The red team definitely did get more assists out of it, though. So gold-wise, it definitely came out in the red team's favor. But, you know, by most people's standards, a 2 for 2 is pretty good. As long as they don't think about the gold there. Anyway, so this tower is actually pretty low here. I may be taken down fairly soon, bringing them back to being tied again, but I don't see it happening quite yet. We do see Talon working. He's got the Tiamat. He's working towards... I can never remember the name of that. I always think Runans, but that is the ranged version, and I can never think of the name of the thing that Tiamat grows into. We'll see it in a little bit, though. It's one of the most annoying things. I have no idea what is up with that. I always forget that, though. Annie does have her stun, and Talon saw that, and he was forced back. He's being pretty cautious here, and he's saying, come on, help me out. And, yeah, Lee Sin came down. Oh, Talon just went in. Down went the Karthus there, and they took pretty much no damage for that. In comes the Janna as well. Went ahead and tried to go ahead and grab them with her tornado, but it didn't end up working. Out comes her Shirelia's, though, and that gave them the speed to just chase down that Annie pretty much instantly, and they bursted her, and she went down. And now the red team is seeming to be converging on Baron. I don't think they're going to do it this early in the game, but we'll see. I mean, they're going in on it, but it is warded, and they don't know it. The blue team is coming back up. The Karthus, anyway, is. But I don't know what's going to happen. There comes the teleport from that Karthus. He's going to come in here. Going in now. In goes the Hecarim as well. And the red team definitely made a mistake there. The Fiddlesticks managed to go ahead and Zanya's that ult there. But it's not going to be enough. It didn't last quite long enough. And the Vladimir was also able to get the Corki in the meantime. Lee Sin and Janna and Talon are all trying to escape this. They are going to escape this, but that means that the blue team is going to try to go in on this dragon now. And Janna actually gets the kill on the Vladimir. Vladimir was the only one going in on that, and Janna had it warded. So as soon as he went in on that and she saw that he was low from it, she went ahead and just did one attack to him and ended up taking him down. So that was actually kind of unfortunate for him. There's a ward from Annie. Oh, Annie's going in, and they may end up bursting her down. There is the... Oh, is it? Okay. She did end up going down, and there's the Janna ulti giving just enough sustain there to Lee Sin, so he does not end up going down. I thought that Annie may have ended up being able to burst them or destroy Lee Sin due to the fact that, you know, she does have that burst and they weren't able to instantly burst her. But unfortunately for her, they were still able to survive that. And Janna's going to go ahead and get rid of that ward so that the blue team does not know anything about Baron anymore. And actually, there's no wards on the map at all for the blue team. Does Annie even have wards? Annie does have a Sightstone, and she's got a couple pink wards. So I guess they can. And the Talon actually came in and stole that blue buff from the Karthus there. Karthus is using his ult. The Janna's shield comes out, and that means that the Talon is going to survive that. So that was pretty unfortunate for Karthus. He thought he was going to go ahead and get that. Oh, did he revive there? No, he revived a while ago. I'm just being crazy. Revive doesn't revive you at the point. It revives you back here. Alright, but yeah. So in came the Talon, and he just went in. He actually is a pretty effective assassin. I don't know why exactly he fell out of use. I guess it's just the fact that a lot of other things do it better. I mean, Zed, in large part, is a better assassin than Talon, from what I understand. So I guess that is what has made Talon fall pretty heavily out of favor. But, well, I guess that's what it is. But even still, I mean, Insoy honestly does play a very, very mean Talon. He's currently 6'4", and he's pretty darn deadly. He came in and just burst that Fiddlesticks, or the Karthus, down pretty much instantly. And the blue team still has not managed to get this tower. Corki is pushing this tower. Did a little bit of damage to it, but now he's walking away. And there is the ping on Dragon from the red team. It may be Corki saying, hey, let's go do this. I would not be surprised whatsoever. And Corki actually might be able to solo it himself, honestly. He's got Trinity Force, and he's got a decent amount of lifesteal. No, he's going to go ahead and back off. And he's actually working his way to mid, where Janna and Talon both are. In goes the Corki, going in on that Vladimir. The Annie's trying her best to do stuff, but that's not going to happen. The Vladimir's going to go down. He does indeed end up going down. Talon got shielded by the Janna there, so the Vladimir ult is not going to take him down, although it almost did. The Lee Sin shielded him just in case. Out comes the Shirelias there from the Janna, getting them back into the battle very quickly. The Fiddlesticks ulti comes out, and down goes both Annie and Karthus. Down go. Down go both Annie and Karthus. Karthus. Ah. And that means that the Corki is going to get his wish. They are going to go ahead and go in on Dragon now. And they're going to go ahead and grab that while Fiddlesticks and Janna are still pushing mid. Hecarim's able to push them back, but that's not too bad there. And now they pinged the Tristana there. She's going to start going back in this bush. Question is, will they figure it out? And yes, the Lee Sin does manage to come in there. He slows down the Tristana. Actually, no, he didn't slow down the Tristana. He used the ability, but not the one that slows her down. Janna's there as well. The Corki went ahead and jumped over the wall there. In comes the Lee Sin, and the Tristana's trying her best to get out of this, but it is not going to happen. No, she does end up going down to that Lee Sin. So she thought, you know, it was worth a try to escape, but it did not end up happening. Out comes Shirelias yet again, getting them back into mid lane faster. Apparently, I should be using Shirelias a bit more. I mean, it does have a really short cooldown, but I tended to only use it in team fights, but maybe that's something I should consider. Oh, nice! That Zanya's from Vladimir, and it was not enough. It wore off while the Ignite was still going, and it does mean that he is going to die there. Talon's trying his best to escape here. He did use his ulti there. That revealed him. Oh, the jump! He jumped over the ulting Hecarim. He still wasn't able to take him down, but that was actually a genius play there. I really liked that. He completely stopped the ult from fearing him because of that jump. He jumped behind the Hecarim so that the fear just didn't work at all. And now we see the Karthus trying to get out of this. I don't think it's going to happen. Out comes the fear from Fiddlesticks, and there we go. He is dead now. And now he's going to try to do as much damage as he can to Karthus. It's not going to be enough. And no, he is dead. And he does not have revive at the moment, so he can't come back and ult. He does have ult, but he knew that he didn't have anybody low enough to go ahead and do it, so he decided against it. And now Talon is back up. And we've got a 4 versus 5 again. We see wards going out again. It's actually Lee Sin placed that ward, which is pretty nice. And he's going off. Landed the Q on the Annie, but I don't think he's going to go in. Oh, I could be wrong. It looks that the red team has kind of gotten a pick comp here. I mean, they've got decent. Oh, down. Yeah, down went the Annie. Now they're going into the Vladimir. I will continue that thought in just a moment. And the ulti came out. The red team's now trying to run away from this. I think the Vladimir could end up going down. The Lee Sin successfully flashed to safety. In comes the Karthus ult. Was not able to take down anyone. The CC comes out, and the Hecarim's actually forced back. The Corki flash there, the shield comes out from Janna, and that's just enough to make it so he survives. And the Karthus is now trying to chase down the Lee Sin. Lee Sin's really low. One ability hits him, he's dead. But Fiddlesticks is kind of circling his way around here, so things may not end up working out for that. And we just saw another death here. I'm not sure why Hecarim came back in. We see Hecarim really low life. He's almost dead, so him coming back in was probably not the best decision. I think he thought that the Corki was alone. But unfortunately for them, he was not, and the Janna was able to go ahead and instantly shield as soon as she saw him, and I don't think either of them got feared there, so the Hecarim ended up going down. They were far enough up that the fear did not end up landing on them. The ulti actually didn't end up getting them. So Fiddlesticks is going to go ahead, go in, and try to take down this Karthus. In comes the Lee Sin as well, and it does look like the Karthus goes down, and no, the Fiddlesticks and Lee Sin both survive. I thought for a little bit that the Fiddlesticks might end up dying. One more ability would have killed him, and really one more ability would have killed Lee Sin as well. But neither of those happened. So not too bad there for them. They've got a lot of teamwork. This red team is really good with teamwork. Oh my, Tristana's in a little bit of trouble here. Talon's going in. Did end up hitting her, I think, with the Q, thanks to the way Tristana's jump works, but I didn't slow her down or anything. She's out of this with no problem. But he did get red from her, which is probably pretty annoying for her. She kind of wanted that, actually. So he's going to go ahead and head back now. And the blue team's going to go ahead and push him in. So as I was saying, from what I'm looking at here, the red team kind of does have a bit of a just pick you off comp. They've got a lot of wards out, and they've got an assassin like Talon. Lee Sin's really good at picking people off, and Corki's really good at getting around the map and just picking people off. So that seems to be their method of doing things. And honestly, we've been seeing it all through here. They wait for people to be alone, and then they go in and just instantly destroy them. And that really is the heart of a... I believe the actual LCS casters call it a pick comp, which kind of confused me for a little bit. You know, the whole picking... I was like, what does that have to do with picks and bans? But no, that's actually what they mean. It's a comp that's designed to go ahead and just pick people off. And there we go. We see it yet again. They came up, they instantly picked off that Karthus, and they took pretty much no damage doing it because they all do a lot of damage really fast. Hecarim, on the other hand, was able to take down Talon. Where was Talon? Okay, so Talon's here, jumped in, did some damage there to the Vladimir. Out comes the Vladimir ult, and Talon's in trouble there. Had it not been for the Hecarim, Talon would have not have... I think Talon would have survived. Even with... Oh man, the Vladimir went down to the Fiddlesticks anyway. Even with that Zhonya's, I think Talon would have ended up winning that. But because of Hecarim, the Talon ended up dying, and Fiddlesticks was, you know, forced to clean it up. Tristana did manage to go ahead and grab that tower down there, but in the meantime, Corki killed the Annie, and Fiddlesticks is actually doing a lot of damage here to Hecarim. Hecarim's forced back. Fiddlesticks got really low, but Fiddlesticks does a lot of damage, and he's able to lifesteal a lot. So he was able to get a lot of survivability off of that, and it didn't end up going out for him very well, for Hecarim. And we've got Tristana still pushing here, but unfortunately for her, and her team, of course, red team managed to go ahead and grab that Baron buff. Not much Tristana could have done, honestly. She's going to go ahead and do what she can, take that tower down. Whether she knows about it or not, even if she started heading over there as soon as they walked toward it, she wouldn't have gotten there in time. And even if she did, she was just one person. I mean, we had 2 other members of her team dead, I believe, and one other, Hecarim, was really low. So she would not have been able to stop that. So it does end up going to the red team for free. And now the blue buff, is it actually going to Fiddlesticks? It kind of looks like it. I don't think Talon really needs it all that much anymore. He's going to go ahead and go in on Dragon. By the way, he still has Tiamat, interestingly enough. He has not upgraded that. I guess he's happy to sit on Tiamat for the moment and upgrade it later. Down goes the Dragon for the red team. And the blue team sort of seemed like they were heading over there, but I guess they changed their mind. And probably for the better for them, as they are going to live. They might have died otherwise. Actually, it looks like Annie's going to go ahead and die here. She got feared by the Fiddlesticks there, which means she just kind of walked around. The Hecarim's in this bush. Talon's slowly walking behind him. Hecarim is working on his way in. The Corki was able to burst down that Karthus. Karthus is using that ult. The Lee Sin's going to go down. No, Lee Sin did not go down. The shield saved him. The Talon took down Tristana. Karthus did actually end up taking out the Fiddlesticks, though. But Corki was able to take down Vlad, and the only thing left is the Hecarim, who's trying his best to get out of this. Actually, Karthus is back up thanks to Revive. But we're not for Revive. Where does Revive bring you back? Alright, so now he's already back here. Down he went there. And we see his ult come out now. Okay. And then he dies here. And he revives. And yeah, it brings him back up here. But he has the speed boost from both Revive and I believe he has Home Guards. He does have Home Guards. So he was able to get right back out there. Corki is just destroying him though. And actually Corki ended up winning that. So Corki was pretty darn low, but he ended up still winning. Nice kiting there from the Corki, just avoiding those Qs. And making it so that Karthus was only able to get 1 kill off of his Revive, which is not at all what he wanted there. Really, the blue team's trying to go for a bit of a team comp. For a team fight comp. I mean, we've got Hecarim, who's got really good team CC. Annie with really good team CC. You've got Vladimir, who just makes all the things do more damage. And, you know, hits like a truck when it pops. So they're definitely going for an AoE CC type thing. Down goes the Annie pretty much instantly there. Ouch. And they've got Karthus, who is, you know, the way he's designed and the way he's a lot of times played. Karthus runs in first, tries to go... What's he doing? Why is he... Oh, he was teleporting. I thought he was going back. Interestingly, he teleported up here, but they'd already taken Baron. So he thought he was going to come up here and stop a Baron, but that Baron was taken a long time ago, so I'm not really sure what he was doing there. Maybe he was just trying to take down Janna. Actually, I think that's what it is. Let's go back just a little bit. I want to see exactly what happened there. Alright, so we do see Janna coming off, and she's going to go ahead and head back right up here. And we see the teleport coming in from the Karthus, who immediately... Now, he ran straight to Baron. So I think he thought he was stopping a Baron, but the red team had already gotten that a while back, and you'd think he would have noticed that when they were fighting them. But apparently, I guess he actually did not notice that they'd already stolen Baron, so he ended up wasting his teleport there for nothing, and that kind of sucks for him. But yeah, as I think I was saying anyway, the Karthus, a lot of times is played, he runs in, tanks all the damage as much as possible while doing a lot of damage with this ability, the Defile that he has on right now. By the way, he's about to die again. Down he goes. And then he dies, does more damage while dead, like this. And then, you know, if he ults, if he has ult, he'll ult. During team fights, by the way, this is what I'm talking about. During team fights, he'll do all this. And then, with this specific build that he's got right now, he'll revive immediately and teleport back into the fight, effectively turning it sorta kinda into a 6 versus 5. That, from what I can tell, is what they originally had decided on, and that was the original plan. Unfortunately for them, the red team just has so much burst from their composition that even if he does revive, he's not going to be able to get back in before his entire team is dead. So, it's not going out the way they planned. Lee Sin, is he going to survive? Lee Sin does end up surviving that. The Corki's trying his best to take down the Annie. He's not going to be able to do it. Does flash away there. There comes the CC from Janna. The Hecarim manages to shut down the Corki. Corki ended up being shut down there. In comes the Fiddlesticks a little bit. Out comes his ulti. He's going in on the Karthus there. Karthus is going to go down again. He just got back up, and he's having a really bad day. He's got the ulti, but really nobody's close enough to death for him to go ahead and use it. Actually, 2 people are, but he doesn't know that. And to be fair, those 2 people are Janna and Lee Sin, both of which have shields that would probably end up getting rid of any damage he could do. Nice bit of damage there. Now the Fiddlesticks had to flash out because Hecarim came in. Alright, so the red team is now going to go ahead and push down this tower. I think they're going to be able to get it. Talon has a lot of damage. Still hasn't upgraded his Tiamat though. And Annie's going to go down to Fiddlesticks here. Hey, top Fiddlesticks, I was not expecting it, but it's kind of working out for him. Nice flash from Janna there. Flashed over that wall. Out comes the Shirelias, and her and Talon are both going to get out of this, but the Karthus ult comes down. There's the shield that I was talking about. Completely negates that damage there from the Karthus. The slow comes out from Talon, slowing that Hecarim, and that means that these guys are going to escape. Out comes the spooky ghosts from the Janna, and that's going to slow down the Hecarim even more had he decided to go ahead and chase this. But we've got Fiddlesticks just kind of destroying this Karthus. Again, Fiddlesticks has a lot of lifesteal, and that's exactly what we saw there. He was able to go ahead and lifesteal through all of Karthus' damage. In comes the Tristana and Hecarim, though, so these guys are in a little bit of trouble. Fiddlesticks is able to get back up to full life pretty quickly. And in comes the Corki now, going in on the Tristana. Tristana flashes out. The Hecarim is going to go down to Corki. Tristana made it out, but unfortunately for her and Hecarim did not. So that gives the red team another opportunity to go ahead and go in on a tower. Lee Sin's actually tanking it so that the Corki could do a bit to it. There is the surrender. Wow. Not bad at all. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the champions, their items, etc. We've got Fiddlesticks with 166 CS to 123 for the Karthus. Fiddlesticks has Zhonya's Hourglass, Will of the Ancients, Haunting Guise, Sorcerer's Shoes, Negatron Cloak, and a Philosopher's Stone versus Rylai's Crystal Scepter, Void Staff, Sorcerer's Shoes, the Home Guard Enchant, Seeker's Arm Guard, and a Tear of the Goddess. 123 CS, 815, ouch, 5 to 8611. Matching them up, you know, as even though they weren't technically in the same lanes much at all. Talon has 230 CS versus 193 for Vlad. 10-6-7 to 5-10-7. That's a pretty big difference there. Talon's got Black Cleaver, Yomu's Ghostblade, Last Whisper, Tiamat. He never upgraded it, so I still can't remember the name. Nope, still can't remember it. Boost of Mobility, the Home Guard Enchant, and a Hex Drinker versus Zhonya's Hourglass, Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, Nisi Large Rod, Ionian Boots of Lucidity, Blasting Wand, and a Doran Shield. Lee Sin is at 126 CS. Wait, you go there. Sorry about that. Oh, I never even finished that apparently. Alright, so the Corki's played by KissHugLove, Janna's played by HunterHagen, and the Lee Sin was played by DKBnet. Sorry about that, didn't realize I had not actually finished that. Corki has 286 CS versus 220 for Tristana, that she is way behind there. And he's 1839 versus 176. He's got Trinity Force, Bloodthirster, Banshee's Veil, Last Whisper, Quicksilver Sash, and Sorcerer's Shoes. He's pretty close to fully built here. He's working on Mercurial Scimitar, and then he has his upgrade for the boots, and then he'd be done. Versus Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, Berserker's Greaves, Vampiric Scepter, and a double Doran's. The Janna is at 15 CS to 66 for Annie. Annie actually got a decent amount of CS for support. The Janna is 4-2-27 versus 1-14-2. Annie was not there for many of the fights at all that resulted in kills. The Janna has Shirelia's Reverie, Twin Shadows, also known as Spooky Ghosts, Mercury's Treads with the Alacrity Enchant, oddly. I guess it makes sense really with Janna. Ruby Sightstone, the Ruby Crystal, and an Oracle's Elixir versus Ruby Sightstone, Fiendish Codex, Crystalline Flask, Boots of Speed, Vision Ward, and a Health Potion. finally, we've got Lee Sin with 126 CS versus 216 for Hecarim. That's a lot of CS there for Hecarim compared to the Lee Sin. But honestly, not really surprising. Hecarim's far better at farming than is Lee Sin. Lee Sin's more of a ganking type jungler. Lee Sin is 9-20 versus 4-3-6, which, like I said, he's a ganking type jungler, whereas he's more of a farmer. I mean, he's still got really good ganks, but he's a lot better at farming too. The Lee Sin has Randuin's Omen, Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Ruby Sightstone, Boots of Mobility, Home Guard Enchant, Brutalizer, and Pickaxe, versus Trinity Force, Frozen Heart, Spirit of the Ancient Golem, Ninja Tabby, and a Negatron Cloak. So that's going to be the end of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.